Okay, it is Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. We'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Morning up one.
Okay. And mark down that Harry is tardy. I want that in a minute. Minutes and reports received.
There's none today.
Okay. Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports.
We got the Economic Development Partnership Team meeting Thursday. It's the end of the month, so not as many meetings. I think that's it.
I'm going to meet with Chief Schofield on Friday, later on Friday with the new Chamber Director, Gary Plummer. And then at noon Friday are the bicentennial trees.
Yes, at noon.
That's my schedule.
Okay. I have the Leadership Forum Friday. Then if we want, we are invited to the groundbreaking in Ashland of the new Rankin Technology College. That's at 10:30. And at noon, we're dedicating bicentennial trees. And then Monday, we have a WebEx with our medical partners. So that's all I've got. Commission comments, nothing. I'm going to jump around because we got Justin here, and we'll do you and get you out of here, Justin. Public Defender to discuss space issues.
Skip me, man, I'm just saying.
Well, Public Works is going to be kind of the main show today, and we'll lump you in with them. You're not important, John.
Sorry. In the courtroom, they require these things, and so I just get used to wearing it.
Oh. Yeah, we don't, although yeah, just so you know.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Thank you. My name is Justin Carver. I'm the District Defender in the local Public Defender Office that serves Cole County, Miller County, and Montauk County. And as you know, we're a teeny tiny state agency. The statute says that the county is to provide office space for use of the local Public Defender Office. And I know I've visited with this body before about the office space. You know, it's been 5 or 6 years that I came to the commission with a concern because our existing facility, while we love the location and we love the building, it's a beautiful building with a lot of charm, and we're within the block of the courthouse. So, you know, when I've got lawyers who come to the courthouse multiple times in a day, multiple days a week, you know, it's a very easy to get to the local courthouse. You know, the concern 6 years ago was we did not have any functioning conference room, and we had 2 employees behind temporary partitions with open ceilings such that their conversations with clients or whoever could be overheard by anybody in the office. Of course, attorneys are required to maintain attorney-client confidentiality, and that applies to our staff as well. With regard to the conference room, you know, our office is such, we've got offices on one side of the building, offices on the other side of the building, and there's a hallway that bisects the office. The only place to have meetings effectively is in that hallway. And so it's sort of akin, if you're trying to visualize this, having the commission meeting out there in the hallway that cuts the thing in half. We can do it, but it's really not an ideal situation. Anytime someone knocks on the door, the whole meeting is interrupted. Fast forwarding a few years, because our caseload was increasing, there were multiple things going on with the agency. The agency gave me an extra lawyer sort of as a temporary basis, and they were discussing the possibility of making it a permanent thing. I had no office to put them in. And you'll recall me coming before this commission. At that time, what I did is I gave the new lawyer my office, and I moved my desk into a hallway, and I worked from a hallway. which for me was completely unproductive. I had a high-capacity printer behind me. The telephone was behind me. Anytime I'm sitting here at my computer talking to someone on the phone, the conversation is overheard. And anytime someone walks behind me in the hallway, they have to do the high jump or the limbo to get past the phone cord. And I came back to this commission. It's been a couple of years, and the commission said, we're trying to figure out kind of the big picture with all the county offices, which only makes sense. As you've probably heard through the news, there's been a lot of media about the public defender's office, about caseload, about turnover, litigation. There was a time a couple years ago where we lost 5 of our 7 lawyers within a 12-month period of time, and a 6th one got mobilized and sent off to Poland. We went to the courts for relief because we didn't have anybody to assign all these hundreds of cases to, and the courts authorized us to run a wait list for services. This has resulted in cases just backlogging in the court system. We've now got approximately 350 cases on a wait list for public defender services. As that wait list evolved, there was litigation over the wait list, and the ACLU sued the state of Missouri and the public defender's office about the wait list. There was a judgment on that case 5-6 months ago, and the court ordered the wait list to end, as I understand it. The director of the public defender's office, Ms. Fox, is here, and she can talk with you about sort of the impact of that litigation. But I'd also like her to talk to you about the legislature and what they're doing to attempt to fix the wait list. As I understand, there is a stay. So the courts have basically said, we're not going to order an immediate end to the wait list. We're going to come back and look at it in July. I think that the hope of the court was the legislature would fix the problem and allocate additional lawyers or funds to contract cases out. And as I understand, there are good prospects for that. I'd ask Ms. Fox to speak about that directly. But what we're looking at and what we're sort of hearing from the legislature is the likelihood of additional lawyers is a real prospect, and that is excellent for the court system because, as I mentioned, we've got all of these cases on a wait list, and cases are just backlogging in the court system. We need more lawyers to move the cases to fix the backlog in the court system. The problem in my office is if I'm allocated 1, 2, 3 more lawyers today, I have no place to put them. And if it's 1 lawyer, that means I go back to the hallway. If it's 2 lawyers, I don't know, I go to the parking lot and 1 lawyer takes a hallway. I don't know. And I wanted to get before this body now so that you would have some information about what's percolating through the legislature, because I didn't want to come to you for the first time in July and say, hey, by the way, I've got 2 new lawyers starting in a week. I got to move or something. You know what I mean? And so I want to give this body, some lead time to be looking at this issue, because it sounds like it may become a very pressing issue if things percolate through the legislature as it looks like they may. And so that's what I wanted to present to this commission. I don't know if the commission has any questions for me, and I would ask, if it's okay with the commission, I would ask Ms. Fox to say a few words as well.
Just a quick one, Justin. Have you farmed out a lot of work, and has that worked or not worked well enough? Or when I say farm out, attorneys get tapped on the shoulders saying, "You're lucky you get these 3 cases."
That's happened in a couple of contexts, yes.
Okay.
One, the local courts, in an attempt to address the wait list, have just appointed private lawyers to take the cases with no fee. And the bulk of the private bar has been, they're very understanding of the situation, and they've been willing to do it. But there's obviously a financial impact to the private bar, and that's really probably not a full long-term fix. Simultaneously, The agency, if we get 2 nickels to scrape together, we take as much money as we can to contract out to private lawyers at a reduced rate, but we've got private lawyers who will take reduced fee cases from the public defender cases, and they take them as special public defenders. What I understand is that we're really starting to overwhelm the lawyers who take those cases at a reduced rate. And what we're sort of afraid of is maybe running out of folks willing and able to take those cases, because we can only give them so many.
We've been discussing space. I mean, getting a 5th judge shows us that that's really not an adequate courtroom or anything like that. We're looking at all kinds of things, building over across the street from you, we thought that. We're looking at additions we could do to the courthouse and all those things. And you come into that every time we're talking about space. So in that respect, just kind of bear with us. And again, it's going to be something that it's not going to happen overnight, but sometime soon, I think we will make a decision on how we want to expand, just because we have to. You cover a multi-county jurisdiction. Are any of your attorneys, are they basically in these counties most of the time? I mean, could they get an office in the courthouse at one of those counties if need be, or they basically cover all the counties?
So we've got the Montauk docket is a very small docket, and that particular courthouse is pretty small. I can't identify any space in that courthouse off the top of my head. At least in Miller counties, the lawyers that have cases in Miller County also have cases here in Cole County. And so I'm one, for example.
Yeah.
I was in Miller County yesterday. I'm going to Miller County after we're done here. Tomorrow I go to Cole County and then to Miller County, and that's kind of how it's been working for those lawyers. I mean, I can sure talk to some locals about space there. I'm not sure, just in kind of walking through the Miller County courthouse in my head, I'm not sure what they've got, that would suit.
Well, just kind of bear with us then, because, your public defender enters into when we're talking about additional space we need. So it's not that we're just blowing you off.
No, I know.
Ms. Fox, if you'd want to, we got a big agenda today, so if you want to do that, then we will move on. And I know Justin's
Right, thank you,
busy,
Commissioner.
so yeah.
No, I appreciate your giving us the opportunity to talk, and I don't think I've ever been back here since you very generously gave us the $10,000 to contract out cases, so I want to thank you for that also. This has been one of the jurisdictions that has been very empathetic to the situation we found ourselves in and helpful, so we appreciate that. And Justin is correct. The legislature is listening to our request for additional resources. If things go well, and I'm always cautiously optimistic, then we will have additional staff to put in the Jefferson City office, at least 2 additional staff members. The way the statute is written, the county does provide the office space, and if it's an office space that the county has to pay money for, we can also request that Miller and Montauk County contribute to that cost. So that is an option that is available. I don't think that's happened here because it's a county-owned building that they're in currently. But that's one
Get
option.
some,
I
think.
do building.
Do they build?
Yeah, we
okay.
do. We get some, yeah.
Okay, so it's a limited amount.
Yeah.
And it's based upon population. So obviously Cole County is the larger county. But our plan is, if the legislature approves our request, we will be doing recruitment in June, mainly from the recent graduates of the 4 law schools here in Missouri, and hope to have those folks in our offices by August to get them trained and then ready to go as soon as they pass the bar in September. So I've been in Justin's office, and he is correct. It's a beautiful building, but they really are all on top of each other. So I appreciate that this is high on your priority list as you're looking at all the space needs here in the county.
Okay, and you're gonna be adding 2 more regardless then? When you say you're looking at recruiting,
Recruiting new attorneys.
new attorneys?
So the
for
legislature
whole-
has to approve the
Okay.
FTE
okay.
for us.
So for the whole state, you'll be recruiting?
Correct,
Okay.
but this Jefferson City office for these 3 counties is, right now, it is looking to get 2 additional attorneys. So we'd be looking
Okay.
at space for 2 more folks. In my perfect world, it'd be more after that, so if we could have a little bit of growing space, that would be great, but
Yeah,
I have never lived in perfection, so I'm okay.
Jeff
But-
has.
Good. But thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the fact that you've always been so gracious in listening to our requests.
Yeah, we're well aware of Justin and his office, which just, we've got to find space. We could kick Chris out, but he probably wouldn't like that, so.
I wouldn't want you to
Okay.
kick anyone out.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Okay, let's go back to bids and contracts, signing of the 2021-2022 DSSF grant application.
This is a grant that we sign every year. It's a deputy sheriff's salary supplement grant. This is the extra money we're allowed, that we pay through most smart board, that we're allowed to give our deputies some extra money to bring their salaries up.
I'll offer a motion to accept and sign the Missouri Department of Public Safety application 124120 FY 2022 Deputy Sheriff Salary Supplementation Grant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, signing of the 2021 Mo DPS LISO program application.
This is an application we sign every year for the law enforcement supply office. And I'm pretty sure I didn't get the acronym right. But anyway, it's one we sign every year. It's just allow us to be able to get some federal surplus property as well as state surplus property.
All right, I'll make a motion. We sign the Missouri Department of Public Safety LESO program application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Approval of sole source 2021-SS13 Jamar Technologies.
This is already ran in the paper, and it's just signing of the sole source form for Public Works for their traffic counters. It's for $13,800.
Make a motion. We sign the sole source agreement with Jamar Technologies.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Signing of 2021-14 cleaning contract.
This is a cleaning contract for Public Works with Classic Cleaning. The total was $17,900.
That's what we approved last week, right?
Yes.
Make a motion. We sign the 2021-14 cleaning contract for Public Works.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Signing of 2021-12 safety and security film contract.
This one is for the security film over at the health department. It was awarded last week to the tent guys.
You can give that to them.
Yes.
Motion to approve and sign the contract with safety and security film for windows and doors, the Cole County Health Department.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Okay. Approval of MOU with St. Mary's Hospital for vaccination storage, and I think, David, I think that's with
Morning, gentlemen.
EMS.
We keep vaccine, and in the case of a catastrophic failure of our refrigerator, we would need someplace else to go with it. I contacted the Cole County Health Department, and they directed me towards St. Mary's. Contacted St. Mary's, an agreement was drafted, and I have had Jill review it. I would ask for approval of it.
I'll offer a motion to sign the non-clinical services agreement with SSM for vaccine storage.
George. Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think everything else is pretty much Eric, so I'm gonna skip around again. Eric, I'm gonna go to Jeff, or to Chris, and get him out. Commercial real estate appraisal discussion. Sorry about that, but I figure it's gonna take a while with you.
We have an open position in the assessor's office, and I need to hire a commercial appraiser if we can find one, which I'm not very confident of. But regardless of what we call the position or what it's paid, the person will be doing commercial work. And I know there isn't sufficient funds in the budget this year that the county commission left. I had included funds when I sent the budget in. Additionally, I had an employee list that went to the commission with my 2020 and 2021 maintenance plan that I sent to the State Tax Commission, which included those positions. So the person will be doing commercial work. I don't know what you all want to call that, or what you want to do about the salary. If there's not sufficient funds to cover what you have listed as a commercial appraiser, then we'll have to call it something else.
We're currently subbing a lot of that out to outside sources, right?
Not near enough. My current supervisor over there is the only person there, and he's working 50 hours a week currently, just to try to stay caught up and get us done for reassessment this year.
I mean, doing the assessments, we actually go outside and do that, so.
We do have some that we farm out, yes.
So if we get this position, we'd be able to take some of that money, right?
That's a possibility, yes.
I was just trying to figure out what we're gonna pay for this at, because I don't think you have near enough in the budget to pay for that,
No, but
that person, so.
I know in the assessment fund, we've got a very large surplus that we have available to us, but it's just a matter of using it. And if we need to do something else between now and next year, we can do that also.
Well, I've been here 6.5 years. We have been looking for a commercial appraiser for 6.5 years. And I think I told you, if you find a commercial appraiser, we'll find some way to pay them. We just haven't found one.
Yes.
So, you know, find one, and then we can,
All I'm asking today is that I can advertise for
yeah,
one.
and that's what
all I'm asking.
I'm fine with that. But I, you know, we just have
Scarcer
to
than
find,
hen's teeth.
we have to find one.
Yeah. Yeah, since
So
the
that's
appraisal
just me, but
commission-
I know we've discussed this since the first time I came in, you've never found one, so if advertising will bring you one, then we'll,
I hope so.
yeah.
I hope so.
I'm the one that requested this be on the agenda today when I saw your request, so I probably pretty much echo the comments of the other two commissioners. If you had this person on the staff, would there be more reassessments of commercial property than are currently existing?
Yes, there would.
And what's the target for reassessing commercial property in terms of what's the goal for a county commissioner as he looks at he or she looks at commercial property and says it's time for reassessment?
The target is to provide in reassessment years a 100% revaluation of all commercial properties in the county. That's target.
And reassessment year is every odd-numbered year?
That's correct. And what happens is the values are run every year. The commercial appraiser that we have now is every day he comes in and that's what he does. We have a gentleman who's on contract who goes out and does some of our field work, but I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be with it, and if we're going to need to get somebody else for that position at some point. And that's on a contract anyway, so that's not affecting this. is, but yeah, our target is to get 100% of the commercial buildings revalued every assessment year, which is what's required by statute.
So I don't want to get too deep into the weeds of the day-to-day, but the target is 100%. So there's someone looking at those values every other year, every odd-numbered year at least, when the reassessment is, quote, due, to see if a reassessment is necessary. Is that fair?
That's, yeah, but it's done constantly, every year, so.
Oh, okay.
I'll certify the values on July 1st of this year, and starting July 2nd, excuse me, my commercial guy will be working on values towards the next reassessment. Just because I think we have about 3,100 commercial properties or parcels, and one person can't get through it. Up until 2013, I had a certified general appraiser, but she retired at 72 years old, so.
Why did she retire at such a young age?
Well, she loved her job. She really did. And coming up here and talking to the commissioners of Board of Equalization was a great joy to her. She just liked to work.
I think it was her boss. I'm sorry.
Well, there you go, yeah.
Okay.
So how many
Yes.
certified people we have over there right now? You got one certified to do
I have one,
assessments?
and he's residential certified.
Okay. I mean, that's just kind of where I've had issues in the past, is we keep bumping these people's salaries up and none of them are certified and stuff. We bumped one of them up $6,000 after we did the budget and everything. So that's money that could have been used for a commercial appraiser. So what kind of salary we're looking at having to pay a commercial appraiser, and I guess where are they gonna fall in the whole scheme of things? Because we've got an appraiser supervisor, chief deputy assessor, a residential appraiser supervisor. It sounds like we've got a whole bunch of chiefs over there. So we're gonna add another chief to it, so.
No, we already have a commercial supervisor. All we need is a commercial appraiser. And the 6,000 you're talking about, I think, was to correct an employee's salary up to the level that it should have been when she was hired as a supervisor. Well, if you want to get into that today, Jeff, we can, but I would rather not.
It wasn't
You know the
correcting
reason
anything.
that the salary was changed?
It wasn't correcting anything, apparently because you promised it and it didn't happen.
Okay.
Well, basic question is, can we put in the ad that you're looking for a
I'm
license?
fine advertising.
License, yeah, and
I
that's,
think
to
we
me,
need one,
that's
Chris.
what
I don't disagree, but-
I'm fine with.
I think you just got yourself in
I
this
will-
spot with not having money for that spot on your own fruition.
But Jeff, the assessment fund has excess of $1.3 million. That means at the end of the year, December 31st, there will be over $1 million surplus that will be transferred to the next year for that budget year, plus all of the revenue that's going to come in. So there's funds there if they need to be used. So it's not like I'm taking any general revenue. The assessor's office gets no general revenue, has not ever gotten general revenue since I've been here.
It's taxpayers' money, either which way you look at it, Chris.
That's
It doesn't
true,
matter.
that's true, but it's not affecting any other office in the county. The only office it affects is the assessor's office. It doesn't mean the sheriff's gonna get shorted or anybody else is gonna get shorted. Those funds can only be used for assessment purposes. I'm just trying to explain that I'm not asking for the moon and the stars here. I'm just trying to staff the office. The State Tax Commission says that we should have 14 employees. Well, we've got 12. I haven't argued that with you guys. I haven't done
It's
any of
also the
that.
state, and look what kind of shape they're in. They keep sending us people too that we have to house. We get another judge. Do we
Are you
get money
okay
that?
with
We get more
Debbie
attorneys for the public defender.
advertising?
Do we get money for that to help house them? No, they just hand us stuff. And
That's my job though, Jeff. That's
Yeah.
the job that we have here as
Okay.
county assessor. But we can work with the numbers for salary and all that.
Yeah.
I will
If
look
you find
over-
somebody, yes, I
Yeah.
think. we
I'm fine,
definitely consider it.
that's what I've told you
Yes.
since we came. You find a commercial appraiser,
Yes.
yes.
It's a
So
desperate situation.
basically, yes. I'm good with advertising it. Are you good with advertising it, Jeff?
Yeah, if we find somebody.
Yeah. Harry?
We've been.
Yes.
Yes, okay, that was the whole question,
Yes, sir,
so.
thank you.
Okay.
And we will not even put a salary in at this point.
No.
We'll just be advertising
Yeah.
for a commercial appraiser
Okay.
and then, salary based on experience. And
Yeah.
then we can work together
Yeah.
with that. Thank you, gentlemen.
And I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
David, I saw now, we had another thing for you. Get up here, discussion of internet service for EMS, and then we'll get you guys out, and then it will be the road, it will be Eric's turn. Oh,
I'm gonna defer to Brian on this since
you're gonna defer to Brian?
he's the expert when it comes to internet stuff.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I've got, you should have, I emailed you all a agreement with extending our current agreement with CenturyLink to add a Fiber Plus connection at the EMS department. For one thing, it will increase their bandwidth speed, which they're pretty heavily reliant upon the internet. And then also, it will provide a backup data connection. Should their primary fail, they'll have a failover. So that's the agreement with Lumen/CenturyLink, and then the paperwork for Huber and Associates, the equipment and services is going to take to make all that happen. So I would ask that that be approved. I understand that Lumen's currently going through all their products and services, and the proverbial this pricing may not be good after this week is in play here. So.
What kind of numbers are we talking about here?
So you're looking at $199 a month for 36 months for Lumen, with a $99 initial setup fee, and then a one-time fee of $3,573.20 for equipment and services to make the connection back for the county.
Okay.
I just found your email back, so I was revisiting it, sorry. And it is a backup to it too.
Correct. So it's a big problem whenever data goes down out at EMS. Wouldn't you agree, David?
Yeah, I'm good.
So we didn't have it in the budget for this year, we just have to,
Actually, it is in the budget for this year, sir.
okay. It was actually in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That'll even better.
Didn't have,
Cool.
didn't have a failover
All
system
right,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cell phones.
He's smarter than Red Dog, isn't he?
We just need to okay it. Are you gonna bring us a contract, or what are you gonna?
I'm gonna bring you basically something to sign.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you just need
Okay.
the okay to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay. Well, Sam said yes, and I'm all right with it.
yes. Harry's, you okay?
I'm fine with that.
Wait,
So
I want it to be joined if we
do we
can.
want a motion here, to what we just did?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I offer a motion to accept the request of the EMS to the Huber and Associate billing of $3573.20 and Lumen for the $99 setup fee, $199 per month for 36 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Do I need to sign this, Brian, or you'll bring a contract for me to sign?
So there is one document there that you'll need to sign on the professional services side, but the other is just a price quote. Right
There.
there, and there, right.
Okay. I got it. Okay, go forth. Now it's the Brian and Eric show.
And Matt Show.
And Matt show, yes. Sorry about that.
So Sam, we got some contract award items, do those first.
Okay.
He wants to do the awards first, if we
Okay.
can. The
Bid
contracts.
award 2021 asphalt overlay program, project number 2021-501-1.
So this is for the bid award and signing of the contract to Higgins Asphalt Paving Company for $599,972.94. The engineer's estimate was $670,577.50. Bids were opened on Friday, April 16th, and Higgins Asphalt Paving Incorporated Red Low. The roads involved are Big Meadows Road, Elias Spur, and Old Loman Road. Public Works Department recommends awarding the base bid in alternative one. Alternate one includes a part of Old Loman Road that is inside the city limits of Jefferson City. They will reimburse us their portion, which is estimated at $26,275.60. And the bid tabs are attached.
Yep, I don't think I have any questions on.
I don't have any questions. Want to make the motion?
Sure. We gotta make a motion, we award the bid to Higgins Asphalt and sign the contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, bid award 2021 chip seal program, project number 2021-502-1.
So this is for bid award and signing of the contract to Missouri Petroleum Products Company, LLC. Total cost is $265,540.49. Engineer's estimate is $316,898.48. Bids were opened on Friday, April 16th, Missouri Petroleum LLC, Red Low. The roads involved are Old Stage Road, West Railroad Road, Pea Ridge Road, Branch Road, St. Michael's Road, and Algoa Road. Public Works Department recommends awarding the base bid in alternate one. Alternate one includes a section of Algoa Road that is inside the city limits of Jefferson City. They will reimburse us their portion, which is estimated at $28,811.17. And the bid tabs are attached.
All right. I'll make the motion, we award the base bid and alternate one to Missouri Petroleum.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Bid award 2021 pavement preservation seal program, project number 2021-503-1.
So this is for the bid award and signing of the contract to Corrective Asphalt Materials LLC. The total price is $129,213.08. This is a cooperative procurement contract in which we piggyback off of the city of Moberly's bid. A rejuvenating, penetrating seal is placed on all roads that were either overlays or new pavements the previous year. Public Works Department recommends awarding this contract. The roads involved are Charleston Place subdivision streets off of Rainbow Drive, Highland Way subdivision streets off of Tanner Bridge, and Scribner, Blackburn, Mount Hope, Waterford, and West Loman roads. Contract quantities are attached.
Is Highland just where it meets Tanner Bridge?
It'd be the whole subdivision.
Oh, we just redid all that.
Yeah.
And this is a seal.
This is the seal code.
This is the seal,
It's a
yeah.
rejuvenator.
Can I use some of that?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
got some at the shop, just come on by.
Just rub a little behind your ears.
The rejuvenating seals tied a little bit to what I'm gonna talk about next, part of our pavement management program. We've been doing this for 6-7 years.
Okay, it just seemed like we just got done out there.
Yeah, this is just the seal it then.
The purpose of this product is to catch the pavement within the first year to 2 years after it's done. First overlay or build as new.
You know what it costs a mile to do an overlay?
$500,000.
$78,500, right?
Inch and a half overlay, that's right.
Yeah. That was one of my questions I had for Austin. My answers for Austin.
Did you pass?
He never asked me. I was ready though, because I am curious, but I mean, it's $78,500 a mile.
If you don't have to do anything to the subgrade?
That's just laying asphalt.
That's just laying the asphalt.
Okay. Shh, don't
This
help
is
him there.
sealing. This is
Don't
sealing.
It
This,
could be more. It's a, it could be, everybody's right.
You are right about a mile of pavement, adding new pavement, it's about $500,000 to add new pavement.
yeah,
Turn it from gravel to pavement,
All
costs
right.
about $500,000 a mile.
yeah.
You're losing us here.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
so
come
we
on.
need a motion to award the 2021 pavement preservation seal program to, who's this to, or am I know where?
Corrective asphalt materials.
Who is it?
Corrective asphalt materials.
Corrective Asphalt Materials. Okay.
Piggybacking off of Moberly?
Yeah, I knew it was off the Moberly
Yeah.
thing, but I didn't see the
Yeah.
name on this here that I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second to that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Then we have presentation from staffs, consultants, invited guests, Public Works Pavement Management Program.
So we're talking about pavements, and it's a huge asset that we have as a county to take care of. And as time has evolved over coming out of the early 2000s, mid 2000s, we've seen asphalt, just the price in general, drastically increase. And so in our industry, we've kind of seen a movement towards public works departments having pavement management programs in which it's a combination of taking historical data of the pavements, visual inspections, or you could use an inspection by other mechanical means, computerized inspections, and coming up with a pavement rating. And with that, we take that information and we want to make the best decision on what to do on pavements and do it at the right time. And if we can do that, then we can have a good, well-kept pavement system that citizens expect. The last thing I want to do as I'm driving home every day is drive across the same pothole time and time again. It gets aggravating. People expect a good transportation system, and our job as public works professionals is to provide that to them. So we began this pavement management program back in really winter of 2020. So a little over a year ago, we sent our engineering technicians to some training to learn how to identify pavement distresses and give pavements a rating. And so they went through that process of the training. We've been doing a little bit here and there over the past several years, but actually really got into doing it seriously last year winter. And that all turned into the map that you see attached to your document there. So this is a GIS-based color-coded map that gives a rating for all of our. Now this is asphalt pavements. We have not done the concretes yet. Out of our total mileage of asphalt pavements, concretes are about 15 miles. Asphalts are upwards of 300 or so. So the primary thing was get the asphalts done. We'll get to the concretes at a later date as time allows. We'll see after we're all met. So, the main issue we face in taking care of pavements is dealing with water. And water, in a number of different ways, will just tear pavements up. And if you look at the graph on the second sheet of your handout there, that's generally what a pavement condition curve looks like. You'll see a little drop in rating initially right away, and that's due to oxidation that comes immediately after a pavement's down. But then it kind of levels off. But then it'll kind of hit a peak, and then it really goes downhill quick. And so really the goal is to find out when the right time to take care of these preventative maintenance measures, do that to catch it before it really starts going downhill, bring it back up to a good condition, and just keep on doing that over time. So, like I said, the weather, winter weather, snow removal chemicals, they mix in with the water, get into the pavements, freeze thaw during March, maybe a little bit into April. It really does a lot of damage to the pavements. And so you'll see us patching potholes coming out of the winter. That's a big thing that we do, doing it right now. I'm sure you've gotten complaints over the past several months about potholes here and there, and we address those. That's typically, this time of year, that's what we're doing. So, like I said earlier, as we started seeing asphalt prices rise really sharply in 2007 or 8 or so, we started looking at more alternative to just the traditional overlays. Asphalt cost, our latest bid in that packet there was about 76 per ton. When I started in 2005, it was about 30. So, as that price increases, you just can't do as much. And so we had to look at other options. The rejuvenating seal that we talked about, that was the last item that was approved. Crack sealing is something we do in-house. Chip seals, key item there. Microsurfacing, and then just the overlays. Now, if we can catch a pavement, it's still structurally sound, it's just the surface is a little bit raveled or a little bit worn. If we get that right chip seal done at the right time, that pavement can last for a really, really long time if we just keep on taking care of the surface, keep the water out of it. When we do overlays and other things, we try to address drainage, underlying issues that might cause problems. We try to get those before we do the contract work. That way, we're not in there doing other things as time evolves, keep the pavement as good of condition as possible. Chip seals are more geared towards the rural roads. You do get some of that chip wearing off and it'll end up along the edge. That's okay on a rural road where you have a gravel shoulder. In a subdivision street where you have curb and gutter, you really don't want that accumulating in the gutter because you gotta sweep it. And if you don't sweep it, it can cause a problem for people that live there walking along the street or something like that, or it can get into the storm sewer system. So generally, the chip seals are more geared to the rural roads. In the residential streets with curb and gutter, we'll still be doing the traditional overlays. Sometimes when you have pavements that are in really poor condition, they need to stay that way for a little bit. We can't dump all of our money into these really bad roads, or we'll never be able to do the right things on the roads that are in good condition to keep them in good condition. So you'll get complaints on those, and we find that if we explain to the citizens what we're doing and why, and give them a timeline for when their road's gonna be improved, they're generally pretty receptive to that. Normally, when you see these roads in really bad shape in the subdivisions, generally there's stormwater issues too that we gotta address, or maybe more underlying pavement subgrade problems. And so we try to catch those all as a big project. We wanna do all the stormwater work before we do a major pavement rehab or even an overlay, because the last thing you wanna do is come in a year or 2 or 5 years after you did a big pavement project and have to cut the pavement to replace a pipe or something else. So that never looks good in what we do. Concrete pavements, they're a little bit different of an animal. We gotta treat them a little bit differently. We're finding that some of our pavements are beyond repair to the point that either we have to completely remove them and lay asphalt in place, or do major pavement replacement projects. A few years ago, we finished one in the Sleepy Hollow Estate subdivision, Wilmore Street. Y'all, Sam, I'm sure you remember some of that.
Yes.
And we got issues, people complaining about what we were doing, and when you're going in and patching concrete pavements, it is an aggravation to the property owners, and it's something that, you just don't want to do too much of that if you can avoid it. So our goal is, and this is really, I think 2021's a transitional year, not just because we have new management coming in. I think that just happened. That it was just coincidence. We were beginning this process. So it's really our first year of our pavement management program. This is, I think, going to be the first year that we've done prep work for the next year's overlays. Normally, we're doing prep work like right now, leading into overlays happening in the summer, or chip seals. We're going to, as we get that done, going more into late summer, fall, as the contractors are doing this year's projects, our in-house staff will start prep work for next year's projects. So, as a result, we can be doing the prep work the year before, and that way we're not chasing our tails trying to get things done the same year, coming up on a deadline when a contractor's gonna start work. So that's what we're moving into. It may be a little transition into next year. We might still be doing a little prep work next year, but as this year goes by and next, we should be fully into that phase. So the sales tax, having that passed is, I can't speak enough about how important it is that that was passed. And as we were going through the process with the Road and Bridge Advisory Committee, coming up with recommendations for funding amounts for each category, we recommended to them that we add $500,000 per year into resurfacing, and I categorize under resurfacing, it's not only just asphalt overlays, it's the chip seals, it's the prep work, and it's also concrete street replacements, whether that's with asphalt or concrete. So that all lumps into that category. Dumping that money, that extra money into that, we are looking at doubling, maybe upwards of tripling our chip seal program, which if you look at the curve, the more money we can spend right here, the less you gotta spend down here. And so if we, like I said, if we can keep that going, we can keep these pavements in good condition, can last a long time and not have to dump tremendous amounts of money into a subdivision for a complete rebuild. And not only that, aggravating the citizens, because when you do that, you got their streets torn up for months on end. So that's really just a big deal, having that sales tax, that extra funding to be able to put into this work to keep our pavements in good condition. Now, if you remember a month or so ago, we awarded a contract for we bought a new paver. We do in-house prep work. We also are looking at this year doing some overlays with our in-house crew. There's some streets that are maybe more geared for us to do it by ourselves rather than contract. Smaller streets, narrow streets. So Osage City, we're going to overlay all those streets, and then there's a couple other little spot roads on the list. Actually, the ones, I think everything that shows up in red here, our plan is to get those overlaid with our in-house crew and paver this year.
We wouldn't be able to overlay a connector or arterial road with this machine, but something small like a dead-end street, we would be able to do, no problem.
Yep. So currently, our system rates at 65, and on our scale, that would be on the upper end of the yellow. We feel with the extra funding we're putting into it and having this pavement management program, we should be well into the 70s by the end of the next 5-year sales tax period, maybe even sooner. Our plan is to rate these roads either 2 or 3 every 3 years, maybe 2, it just depends on how we go through going into next year, but at the very least every 3 years. So we'll have a pretty good idea within a few years how we're doing. So in a nutshell, that's where we're at, and I just felt it was important to get this to you, talk about it, coming out of the sales tax passing and what we're doing with the extra money we're putting into our system to keep it in as good a condition as possible and to do treatments on roads at the right time so we're not facing these major rebuilds when it gets too late. So I'd entertain any questions you all might have.
I'm just glancing, looking for red on the map, and I see the Osage City red, and then there's red just west of town, west of the city. What?
The Arden Drive subdivision, and it is in really poor condition. It's asphalt, but underneath is concrete pavement. It was built and overlaid, and it's falling apart. And to rebuild it, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 potentially. It's going to take some curb and gutter repair. And the problem is, if you take that much money into what our current budget is, you almost wipe out about half of your budget.
Mm-hmm.
So we just can't, at least this year, we just couldn't swing it this year, but next year it's going to be done.
Okay. And the scale across the bottom is a year, is that right?
Yeah. And this is a generic scale.
Right.
And this is real common to what we see in the stuff that we do, and dealing with other public works agencies that we share information with and visit with. So.
And Black is a failed road. Do we have Black? It looks like Black are the U.S. highways.
Some of them. We went on just a green, yellow, orange, and red scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would add that the large petroleum companies throughout the United States, throughout the world for that matter, they are using more of the crude to make more things nowadays. They're basically taking all of the elements out of the asphalt that's at the very bottom when they're doing the refining that we need to have good surfaces. So everyone throughout the whole country and the world are dealing with the fact that we're paying more for asphalt, but we're not getting as good a product as we were 15 years ago. Asphalt should be pliable, it should move, and it more acts like concrete nowadays. So these companies such as Corrective Asphalt, Missouri Petroleum, they've came up with ways to rejuvenate asphalt to extend the lives of the pavement, but of course there's a cost involved. The CAM product that you were talking about has to go down about a year after, and it adds in some of those elements to that asphalt that make it pliable again. The chip and seal is something that we would add 4 or 5 years down the road to keep the pavement in good condition. By the time we're overlaying, that pavement has reached its life expectancy. There's more we can do to extend the life of it. It has to be completely overlaid, so we'll have to go in and, like Eric said, change out the culverts, fix the ditches, take out some trees if need be, take really bad spots out of the road, dig them out, and then overlay the roads. Big Meadows, Elias Spur, if you have an opportunity to drive through there, our crews are currently working out there right now. They did some culvert pipe replacements, driveway culvert replacements, dig out repairs. They were gonna be moving to Old Loman within the next couple of weeks. Our overlay program will take place before our chip and seal, so as soon as we're done with all the prep work on the overlays, we'll move to the chip and seal prep, and then we'll start trying to get next year's projects going, which are Rock Ridge and Cedar Valley are a couple that we've got on next year's list. So we are gonna have to spend some money on these pavements to get them into those conditions, and that's where the sales tax is really gonna be a big help with that.
Eric, you've hooked me into the 3-day forecast that you get, so when you're planning. So what do you do when you get a report that says in the next 3 days you're going to have lightning, rain, freezing, and snow, and it's April?
Close your eyes and hope it doesn't happen. I don't know.
I think you've seen that this month, right?
We have.
Then you put the blades on your trucks and you wait.
We
Because
did
you had
put
told
blade-
me,
Yeah, we
yeah,
did
you
put
had told me
blades on
that.
the trucks, just blades, because the surface temperatures were high enough
Yeah.
that we knew we weren't gonna have anything accumulate. We were thinking that the snow was gonna overwhelm us, according to the forecasters, and it was gonna create some slush that we may have to push off. And then 2 days later, we had dry pavements and we're out putting driveway culverts in. So we get an extended forecast from our whether or not notification, and it really does help. They give us a outlook throughout the month. They've been fairly accurate, I have to admit, and that it does play a big pivotal role into how we're planning our projects week to week, month to month.
Good.
It's a great investment. These people have hit the nail on the head. They even said that we were gonna get a late season snow in April, and we thought that we got it in March. That last snow we got in March, well, they were a month off. No, they hit it right.
no, yeah.
And they told us that in November.
So, thanks for the opportunity to present this to you. Like I said, our asphalt pavements, you got your pavements, you got your bridges, our total investment value, our value of our system is well over $250 million. And, we have to take care of it.
Right.
We don't want to be in a situation where we're doing these major rehabs. We'll never get ahead of anything if we have to do gut and replace all the time. We gotta treat the roads and keep them in good condition. So,
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I just want to echo what you said, though, about the sales tax, that there's a lot of green and yellow, very little red and orange in here. Without that, that wouldn't be possible. And so I think that the taxpayers see that we have this and we take care of it. Y'all are managing the program very well, and to see y'all, doing some kind of enhancement to the program and even kind of trying to see forward and how to take care of it, just like at home. You gotta take care of your stuff and it lasts longer, so.
I think we're gonna have a little bit of a learning curve with the public and educating them, and why are you out here chip sealing this road when Arden's falling apart? And the big thing is for all of us to get to the same point of saying a dollar spent today is gonna save us $10 5 years from now.
I think that's absolutely true, though, is you let them know why you're doing stuff, and you just communicate that it goes a long ways. 'Cause
Right.
you hear it all the time, and always talk about the Lions Club and stuff, and you're getting beat up about why this road is falling apart, and sometimes you just gotta let it go, because you got other stuff you're gonna do to it, let it take its full life and be done with it. Do the other upgrades that you're gonna do with the curb and gutter and such.
Lakewood subdivision is a good example of that. About a year ago, we started getting some emails, questions about the roads, and they're pretty rough condition. We met with them, walked through, showed them some areas we need to fix, and now they'll let us know if there's some potholes that need to be patched, we'll go do it right away. We've got a good relationship with that group there, and they understand that within 2 to 3 years, the roads will be completely overlaid and be in good shape, so.
That's concrete?
It's, some of it's asphalt surface, some of what's underneath Lakewood is concrete though.
Okay.
That had a lot of stormwater issues too.
There's some stormwater issues, yes.
So-
We're doing those as well before we do the improvements.
And this doesn't even include chip sealed areas. So,
Yeah, what you see on this map, we haven't rated our concrete roads, nor have we rated our just chip seal only roads, like the East Bends, North Bend, South Bend roads. That will come, but we just haven't gotten to that point yet.
The winter weather materials we're putting down are detrimental to our pavements. That is killing our pavements. We have to try to stay ahead of it. The salt, the
chemicals.
calcium chloride, I mean, it's just tearing the heck out of them. So, and that, I mean, everybody faces that problem, but as Sam said on the radio, you know, as we have transitioned into 2021 and people expect those pavements to be bare when it's 5 degrees below zero outside, we're just putting more and more material on it just to try to get it by and make it to where people can get to and from safely. And we're just killing the pavement underneath it with that material.
$160,000 to $170,000 worth of chemicals.
is that beet juice? Or is that just salt? Don't help him now. Come on, this is Sam's test.
That's chemicals.
The calcium chloride's the hardest, because it gets down into those cracks, and what does salt do to steel? What does water do to steel? There's steel in there, so it just crumbles that concrete. It's hard on it. But everybody wants their roads running water whenever it's snowing. They want it to be completely bare. And we've given them that, and we're gonna continue to give them that, but we're gonna have to continue to keep being very, very, we're gonna have to keep going with this pavement preservation program in order to make up for it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
There's
Thank you.
a resident concern packet that I've got. Harry's been looking at. I want to give you that copy, and you can kind of look at it and maybe address it.
On Henwick.
Mhm.
John mentioned it to you, I'm well aware of the
Yeah,
location.
yeah, so I know we're doing that study, right, with Bartlett and West, so that's kind of what I told them. I said, we'll wait and see what,
Are they doing one on the whole road there?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we got one on Tanner Bridge that's exactly like that. Just people driving too fast, getting attention on their cell phone,
Thank you.
eating, trying to get their dog off their lap, whatever they got going on, putting makeup on.
Yeah, a lot of distracted driving out there. I mean, it's.
I want some of that
it explains a lot of
rejuvenator.
the
I'm
issues
gonna.
with people running off the road. Like,
Okay, you got anything else, Eric?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Run
He's got
run
some of that
like.
rejuvenator.
Okay, do we have any unfinished business before we go to new business? Okay.
Yes, there is, but not a whole lot.
I noticed that.
Okay.
Get ahead a little bit. We haven't got anything that's real, Lesh Road is our next upgrade, but other than that, nothing really hits that mark with having the amount of traffic or the connectivity that's needed to warrant an upgrade. It's the traffic counters that you just approved earlier. We're gonna start being a little bit more proactive on our traffic counts, so we can see if there's any other roads out there that do qualify through the petition process to be upgraded.
There is money in the next sales tax for.
Yeah.
For that too.
But it's not just based on their road count either.
It's also
No,
looking
So
at
they did do a
connectivity
little,
items.
there's little changes in it now to try to help some of them that probably could have rose to the top before, so.
Some roads that. there's not a
I
petition
think
on
Lesh
or
is one
whatever.
of those connector roads, isn't it?
Lesh?
More or less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a connector.
Well, and it's paved gravel in the middle, basically, so.
The northwest part of the county, there's a lot of gravel roads, a big area, but not a lot of good connector, paved
But
connectors.
some gravel roads are paved all around. It takes a lot just to get a grader out there just for that one road too.
Yeah, there's things things like that.
Yeah, that all plays into the,
Yeah, we got two of them on the east side like that. You gotta drive to Towson, Wardsville for two
We
1 mile
got a lot
roads.
of them on the west side.
we've got one road in St. Thomas that we literally have to drive down to play. So, but it's a dead end road.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, new business, accounts payable review.
I do have one check I'd like to get, or one invoice I'd like to get a check on today, and that's one of the CARES money ones. So I would ask for approval of accounts payable pending review.
Motion to approve accounts payable pending review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, second and final reading, budget adjustment number 7.
This is for $52,280. This is the Sheriff's Department, and this is the Missouri 911 grant that they got. So I do need action today.
Very good. You want me to do the first one?
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve budget adjustment number 7 for $52,280,000 for the law enforcement fund.
You
Second.
sign it too. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, second and final reading of budget adjustment number 8.
This is for $146,271. It is the money that's coming back into general fund from the CARES money for the payroll for January and February for the health department.
Give that one to Harry. Take turns.
Okay, a motion to approve budget adjustment number 8 for $146,271 payroll January, February health cares monies.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, do we have anything else? I was gonna read a letter, but I'll wait a week.
We still have closed session then?
Yeah, we still have a closed session.
I don't have anything else.
I'll offer a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri. The commission will go into closed session to discuss the following: personnel issues, Section 610.021, paren 13, close paren.
Second.
Roll call?
Harry,
Aye.
Sam,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes. You want these, Debbie? Did we get one for that countertop
Okay,
already?
Don.
For our hill?
This is everything
We got the windows, and we
I have
got
nothing
the, the
else.
vendor.
Labelle cabinetry.
You wanna look that one up?
I haven't
Guys,
seen that one.